Welcome, race fans, to Pitside Live here at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. Also, welcome to you YouTubers on our KCSI channel on YouTube. Welcome aboard, getting to see our lovely faces once again this week. We are back racing with you live here at Adams County Speedway. What a tremendous night of racing this is going to be. So much fun. I'm out of breath because I've already been running all over, but it's going to be so exciting. Those of you that have seen this in the past, but I'm just going to go out there and say it right now, is I think we're going to have over 50 semis here tonight, so it is going to be a sight to see, and boy, do you need to be here, because I've got over 25 of them out there already, and it's just the beginning. So it's, Keene Thummel Trucking, I can't say enough about those guys. It is so awesome. I think we're going to have 10 of them here themselves, so they'll have their big fancy wrecker here too. That's what's cool, but it's going to be such a cool night. This is one of my favorite nights. We started 4 years ago. I can't remember. It's
4 or 5.
Our 4th or 5th annual. I can't quite count. But if you're looking at us online, you can see my nice shirt here I have on. I've got our Salute to Trucking shirt. We have those available to you. And when you get here, you better buy one because they sell out every year. So make sure you get your Salute to Trucking shirt when you come in here. Salute to Truckers, because it's a popular shirt every year, and we sell out every year. I got a little extra this year, so hopefully we'll last a little longer than normal, but they're always gone before intermission.
That's right. I'm just doing an email here, but it's going to be really cool to see. Cole and I always talk about how the track is just fantastic afterwards too. So we don't know if we're going to do 3 wide or 4 wide.
No, we'll do 3. We'll do.
I think we're going to go 3.
It's just scary for him at 4. It is. So
it gets pretty narrow in the corners, especially when you're clear up on the top there.
Rubbin's racing, but not trucking.
Yeah. But yeah, so trucking is a huge part of the United States of America, especially in this area. There's so many trucking companies in this area. There's so many people that do truck around the country and around the Midwest. And
it's nationwide, though, man. It is. So.
There's so many family members that come to the races that know somebody that's a trucker. There's so many drivers down here that have a trucking sponsor. Sean Kralik, our point leader for the B mods, I think he has like what
4 or 5.
I think he has like 7.
I don't, and that's the thing. You'll be doing it when you're announcing the races. We'll have a list, and I don't want to shortchange anybody right now. But Keene Thummel is a huge, big part of this. HFC is a great group we have here. Thompson Trucking, Biggerstaff Trucking, another racing group there. I'm not trying to short anybody right now, but we'll have everybody's name. I know the Nebraska Coast is down there. You have the Coopers here locally at truck. It's, I know Nutrients here with theirs. Nottoway Elevator, glad to finally get them here. Long time. The Hampel family, can't say nothing about them guys, but I do believe Dre is going to bring one of their trucks this week. So that's great to have a Nottoway Elevator here now. That's really cool. So
the amount of laps that a Nottoway Elevator Mac has gone around this racetrack is more than any race car down here.
They have the record, I'll guarantee you that.
So a Nottoway Elevator Mac will be down here again tonight. It's also going to be cool because we're going to have a Keene Thummel semi pace the field for all of our features tonight, and they're also going to pace I don't know if they're going to be pacing the field for the convoy, because if there's going to be so many semis out there,
they will be.
It's just going to be like a constant circle of semis.
Yep. And I gotta get on the phone here in a minute and call Ryan, our deputy sheriff here. I got to get a hold of him, or you need to text him to see if he's available. I forgot to get him in here with his truck too to pace us with our sheriff's vehicle too. I'd hope I can get him too. I didn't know if he was on duty or available to bring it in, but you can get a hold of him right now real quick. Also, during the national anthem, HFC Trucking here out of Sydney's here. They have 2 beautiful trucks. One is Army and one is Marines, I do believe. And we'll have them out there for the national anthem. So we'll get them out there. That's just going to be a cool salute to do that also. So those are 2 beautiful trucks as well. But the Keene Thummel bunch, you can't miss them. They're everywhere in southwest Iowa and northwest Missouri and the Midwest. They're white trucks. They're always beautiful to see, and their wrecker is really cool. They're going to have that here again this week. And Katie, can't thank her enough. Katie Meyer helps with Keene Thummel Trucking, and Steve Cabbage. Steve Cabbage to me is Thummel Trucking. He was a long-time announcer here. It was great to finally see Steve here this year with his grandson, and he's going to be coming back some more. The only thing I was disappointed we never got him on the show or did a little announcing there when he was here, but I think that was a night you were gone, Evan. I can't remember, but
yes,
it was such good to have Steve back here with us. I do believe Rick's going to be here too tonight. He had texted me, so they usually bring a Cabbage Brother truck here too, so that's going to be here as well. And I told Rick to make sure he stops up here and hollers too. So, because I think I scared him away last year trying to get him in the microphone, and he didn't want to do it. So that's Cole. You're a local mayor too. It's just neat to see these things, and that's I don't know what your take is, but this is a great night.
Yeah, no, I mean this night always excites me. My dad. It hits close to home. My dad's a trucker. He's been up and down the nation. As a little kid, I was going with him in his truck every week, and I was too young to remember, but because of him, I've been to all 48 land states here in America, and he was all over the country hauling homes out west, and now he just hauls livestock locally. But yeah, it's a big part of my family, and I love seeing this, and anything we can do to show our support to truckers, it really means a lot. So
it's kind of like Cole said, everybody knows at least somebody who's a trucker for sure. And if it wasn't for truckers here in the United States would struggle a lot.
Probably come to a halt.
I mean,
I'm serious, it would.
Nobody, especially people in the city, like nobody realizes how important semi-truck drivers are for how United States works. I just think of the simplicity of ordering something online. I mean, how do you think your package gets across the country? It's usually on a semi-truck. How do you think
all your groceries?
All the groceries. I mean, I see Hy-Vee semis every single day. So, if it wasn't for semi-truck drivers, the United States would not be functioning today. And what's really cool about us here at the Speedway is we are the only racetrack that does something like this. This is kind of a one-of-a-kind deal. I have never seen another racetrack or another event, an entertainment facility like we are, that salutes semi-truck drivers like this. And I think they really do appreciate it. It gives them recognition because...
And we'll video it when you get all those trucks out there, and get a lot of hits on the old web.
Yep.
When you
it gets them recognition that they deserve, because in my opinion, semi-truck drivers don't get enough recognition, especially the ones driving the interstate, things like that. It's usually you got all the idiots on the interstate who think semi-truck drivers are they like own the road. I'm like, well, they pretty much do. I mean, that's kind of that's their job. Mm-hmm. So again, I hate it when I see people on the road who are cutting lanes off of semi-truck drivers. Like, they're just doing their job.
That's right.
I mean, they're going up and down the road every single day. And
that's a big rig with a lot of weight that just can't come to a stop. Like
exactly. Especially when you're going up a hill. Like, people get mad. Like, why is this guy going so slow? It's like it's because he can't go fast. There's a lot of weight on that thing.
Some of them can't. Yeah, but we'll have Katie up here later with Thummel Trucking as well to go over with how they operate, and they're no different than anything in this entire world. Is help wanted signs everywhere, and the trucking industry, I know all of them. You see usually on their truck, now hiring everywhere. So it's no different than anything else in this country, that they're always looking for people to come work for them. So, and I know they're a great company to work for. It's right here in southwest Iowa, out of New Market, Iowa. It's neat to have a small town like that. No different than our other big sponsor, Chat Mobility, out of Emerson, Iowa. It's cool to have those biggest sponsors located right here in local southwest Iowa. So that's a neat thing. Great job opportunities for people. So.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, guys, we're here to race too, right?
Yeah, I know.
I think we're here to race, aren't we?
Yeah, it's a little. I think we're here to race and sweat. I think, but
we got a good breeze.
Little warm today, but as the sun goes down, it'll cool off. But luckily, we caught the start of the heat, because I think midweek is when it's really going to ramp up. I work at a job with no AC, so I'm really looking forward to this heat. But yeah, so we should see some good.
I'm gonna make an announcement that's gonna be for right here locally and on the radio show. But anyway, we have out in our parking lot, since we have this broadcasting here on our PA system, that I have an Ford F-150 silver truck with Page County plates out in our parking lot. It's in the grass out here. I think it's WEGY 6 something, but it's we need you to move that truck, because we have to have all that spot out there for our semis tonight. So you're out there in our parking. If you don't move it, you might get boxed in by about 15 semis, and you're not going to move. So if you're listening over the PA system that I'm announcing right now, there's a Ford F-150 silver truck with Page County plates that needs to be moved. For all you radio people, just you can laugh at me later, but we got to make that quick announcement.
It has to be done.
So other than that, we're here to race. Last week another great night of racing. Need to pull things up, but anything that shoots off the top of your head, guys, from last week? I mean, there's a lot of good racing. So.
I tell you what, you can really tell that the points are starting to get to guys, because it was very aggressive last week. You saw some guys throwing some doors and in some of the classes, and I mean, I think the biggest thing that I saw after the races was the points battle in the hobby stocks. It is now down to 2 points. Luke Ramsey is right on the tail of Adam Hensel, so that is going to be a fun battle to watch. And with the points average, I would assume those two are probably going to be starting pretty close to each other. So I think in these coming weeks, that's probably going to be the most anticipated battle to watch. So
that's for sure. Sean Kralik, he was in Tijuana this morning.
Yeah, they're like, he's not racing,
and he's flying by helicopter to get back here to race tonight.
What is this guy, Tony Stewart?
Yeah, I'm like, what is going on? So when I saw on Facebook that he was at a wedding down in Tijuana, Mexico, down there just South California, I was like, are you racing tonight? Because, I mean, you're leading the points, and he is going to be back here. He's hoping to be here by 6:45. So we will not. He did win last week, but we will not have him on the show. I mean, he's pretty much all he has to do is show up and pretty much start the feature for the next 2 nights, and he's pretty much got the points championship wrapped up. But again, he has to be here, because if he wasn't going to be here tonight, Bryce Allen would have jumped him.
Oh, yeah.
And then that would have made Bryce Allen and Daniel Ballard right up there with him. So
well, nothing's wrapped up. Let's put it that way.
Exactly.
Any class, there is nothing wrapped up yet. Maybe after tonight there could be a few more, definite possibilities, but there's a lot of close races. That's what I'm looking at right now. Our compacts, it's 36 and 74 points out for second and third. Like you said, hobby stocks just 2 points separating Adam and Luke, but Buddy's only
42 behind too.
Buddy Warner is not statistically eliminated either. But the stock cars, you've got 19 points back for Brock Bradger, and Steve Churchill's only 37 points back. So that's a tight race with Brad Derry as well. Like you said, Sean Kralik, it's a 53-point lead. Not something that couldn't happen. It's not going to happen. Something that's not possible, but it is something that's close to being wrapped up, but not really. 42 points for Jesse Dennis, lead over Brad Berggren. That's a 2-man battle. Same with the B-Mods, 2-man battle. 3-man battle in the stock cars. Technically a 4-man battle in the hobby stocks, and 3-man battle in the compact. So nothing is wrapped up. That's what's nice about it. Yeah. I know the guys really start looking at it this time of year, but
yeah. And it'll be interesting to watch that stock car battle. I know I saw on Facebook, Josh Most posted a video. It looked like Badger had a new car or another car that he was running. So I don't know which one he's going to bring down here, but
maybe both.
Maybe trying to find some. Both. Well, they possibly, you never know, but maybe they're trying to find a little bit more speed out of it, because these last few weeks, Deary has got that thing turned up and been running strong. So
this time of year, sometimes a lot of them will do that. They'll bring 2 cars just because they want to have that backup possibility as far, the deal. So
it's something where this time of year it's just another element to add to the racing to make it a little bit more exciting is the points. But I'm really looking forward to this hobby stock points, because our hobby stock features have been absolutely incredible these last 2 months at least, and if Adam Hensel does get it, that's going to be a shock to everybody, because we talked to him a couple weeks ago, and he's never ran for points at any racetrack in his entire career, and he is leading the points now by 2 points. And we all know Luke Ramsey. He's a multi-time track champion here. He's been struggling for his liking. It'd be a really good season for others, but for his specifications, he's been struggling this year with. He has a new car, and he's really been tweaking on it, trying to find speed. And last week was the first night, and probably the last couple months, that he really shown a lot of speed. And him and Cody Warner were battling quite a bit there, and Luke the experience took that one. And Luke is so hard to beat when he has speed, because he knows exactly where to pass people. He knows when to make moves and when not to. And it seems like he just doesn't make mistakes either. So when the car is to where it wants him to be, where he wants it to be, he's going to be really tough to beat. And if Adam Hensel does pull this off and beats Luke, that'll be incredible. So
yeah. The thing about Luke is he started in front of Adam last week, and That's the thing. It's once Luke's by you, it's hard to get back around him. So you don't usually pass him back very often. It's pretty rare. So
he's one of those guys that has a lot of laps around this place, and yeah, if you give him some clean air, it's going to be tough to catch him. So.
What is it? 7-time track champion, I think it is. So
quite a few
for a reason.
If he wins
I need to ask Dre how many wins he has here, because it's a lot.
Yeah,
so
Dre has all those statistics. We need to get on board with him. So, well, I'll tell you what, guys. We're coming up on quarter past. We're going to go ahead and take our first commercial break, and we'll be back here with our first guest. We have a special guest here from NASCAR. So we'll be right back with you on Pitside Live.
Subscribe to the KCSI Radio YouTube channel today. Interviews, parades, events, contests, and more. Subscribe to KCSI Radio on YouTube and get notified every time something fun happens.
What if we could harness the power of the sun by using the earth to transform the way we use energy? Water furnace geothermal systems are simply the most efficient way to keep your family comfortable. Winter or summer, day or night, rain or shine, without burning fossil fuels, giving you the freedom to focus on life.
Call Camlin Mechanical or visit camlinmechanical.com for your water furnace needs today.
Even if it's been years since you graduated, your college team is your team for life. Well, you can have a Farm Bureau agent for life, and auto, and home, and business insurance. Imagine that. One insurance agent for everything. It's that simple. So get a Farm Bureau agent for life.
Contact Farm Bureau Agent Elizabeth Davison in Clarinda and Shenandoah at 712-621-2878 for all your insurance and financial needs.
Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Property and Casualty.
Are you interested in starting a career instead of just getting another job? Well, hop on over to Fresco System USA and let us help you find the one for you. We offer competitive wages, benefits starting day one, and so much more. You can pick up an application at 2026 Fernwood Avenue, find us on Indeed, Better Team, and Facebook, or call 712-623-8100, extension 6659. Spring into action and join the Fresco team today.
No matter what your insulation needs are, Heartland Foam Insulators is your go-to company. From removal to blow-in to foam, they are ready to go to work for you in any type of building, whether it be an existing house, new construction, a metal building, commercial building, or a unique project. Call Heartland Foam Insulators today at 712-623-4515 or heartlandfoam.com.
Since 1892, Malvern Bank has been building community from 404 Main Street in Malvern, Iowa. For generations, Malvern Bank has been serving local businesses, families, and farms to help them achieve their goals in every step of their lives. From saving for college to planning for retirement and everything in between, Malvern Bank is your full-service community bank, here to help as you plan for the next chapter of your life. Call, click, or stop in today to apply for an account, loan, or credit card. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, equal.
There we go. We have sound. Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside Live here at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. Welcome to you YouTubers on our KCSI webpage. We are back here live with you, and we have a special guest tonight. We have Emma House our NASCAR rep from down in Daytona, brought this lovely weather back with us.
She's a Floridian.
brought this Florida weather back with us. So I won't blame you, because I mean, we cannot complain, because this last week and a half has been the most amazing August weather for us. We've had rain and 70 and 80 degree temperatures and no much humidity, and it's like Florida up here this time of year in August. Always it's just hot and humid, and
it's not like that
usually. It is today. Yeah. So we're that way this coming up the whole next week. So. But welcome. You said you went to Hawkeye Downs last night. And no, they're one of our new NASCAR tracks here in Iowa. So it's good to have them on board as our NASCAR flag. So people should know, but it's a paved track. Used to be dirt. I was just telling you that I went to the last dirt track race ever over there. But it's a great facility. I've always liked Hawkeye Downs over there. So you flew in, I do believe. Right? Obviously, you didn't walk or drive.
I did not drive from Florida. No, that would suck.
Yeah. So and you got to leave. You said in the morning. So that's.
I do.
Hopefully we're not dragging things out tonight. But I think it's a neat night you're here. What do you think of our concept of this Salute to Trucking?
I think it's very interesting. I was told earlier that you have all the trucks come out on the track and they like to honk their horns, is what I was told.
Yeah. It's fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's a really cool picture for sure. It's an amazing deal. Like, trucking is so big in the United States, and people don't even realize how big it is. Mm-hmm. And we just thought of something that could recognize these guys, and we're pretty much the only entertainment facility that does something like this. And you probably saw our T-shirts down there. Those things sell out like so fast, and there's so many drivers down here that have trucking sponsorships and trucking companies that sponsor and give a lot of money and stuff like that. So it's a really cool site, and we're going to have them 3 wide, and they're just going to be doing laps. And once they're done, the track is like butter smooth, and it's just like it's really cool.
Makes it pretty interesting. So it's Bob Harris and our current director, Billy Rock. They came up with this concept 4 years ago. I think this is our 5th annual, but Salute to Trucking, and we do Salute to Farming, and like I said, those are 2 big industries in our area. It's a no-brainer. One of our big sponsors, we have a lot of ag sponsors, obviously. This is the heartland of the ag producing. So, but yeah, it's neat that you're going to be able to see that. I guarantee you're going to have your phone out. And what's also, we get a lot of kids here because you'll see the kids constantly doing the arm pumping,
I love that that's still a thing.
So,
it is.
It absolutely is. So
Cole and I will get up there and play some Smokey and the Bandit music for them, and we just get it going. It's a fun time.
It is. It really is. And we tried it the first year or 2 years where it was 4 wide, and some of them are like on there that
it gets a little tight.
So we went down to 3 wide, and it is just like I said earlier, Rubbing's racing, but not in the trucking industry. So we don't want that going on. But it's a great concept and a sight to see. So I'm glad you're here for that. So other than that, how many tracks have you visited this year?
Oh man, I don't even have a number for you. I feel like I've been everywhere. So we have 53 tracks with NASCAR now, and I think I've been to probably around, I would say 17 or 18 at least this year.
Because usually every year we get at least one rep here from NASCAR. I know
try.
Kevin sometimes, and you've come last year, you come this year. So yeah, it's great. We love having you guys here. So I've always been accustomed with NASCAR here. That's what I've done since day one with the Hampel family for many, many years. And 83. Well, it's NASCAR's 75th anniversary.
It is.
It is
Very big year
It is
for
our
us.
40th anniversary under the NASCAR banner.
Yep.
So
we've been in NASCAR for 40 years now. So
yeah, and then I'm very proud of that. We're very proud of that.
13 years before I was born.
The things that
almost double my age.
I will tell you, we are in the heart of another sanction. In this area, without a doubt, and people talk about it all the time. And people say, well, if you do this, you'll get more cars and this, that. I said, well, the honest truth is, and I think people are figuring that out, is it's geographical what you get. I mean, you're not in the business of stealing cars from other tracks, and it's all geographical. And we compete against a lot of tracks here in Iowa on Saturday night. And that's just the way it is. So, but we're very proud of our car count. Our key thing, and I talked to Kevin and other things, is what can NASCAR do for us to help us, obviously, promote. Obviously, you guys have seminars for that. But it's also, what does it take to get people to come to the stands and new drivers? And the big NASCAR is no different in that respect. I know you have diversity programs. You have ways of getting younger drivers. We're talking about, years ago, we had a go-kart track thinking about doing that again, but it's like other classes, economical, how do you do it? That's the thing. And I know NASCAR itself has to deal with that stuff as well. So
yes, we do.
So
I know one thing that I read an article this week about how racing with NASCAR's doing a lot better job of trying to get grassroots racing a little bit bigger, because I think they're really, the bigwig corporate guys are really starting to figure out that NASCAR will die if it isn't for us. It's just like the NFL, the MLB. Where do all these players come from? They grew up playing the sport, and they got better, and then they get to the big leagues. NASCAR is the same way. This is kind of where it starts, and then you move your way up. So NASCAR's doing a really good job of really starting to give back to the grassroots racing, because Clint Boyer said it really well there a couple years ago when he was commentating there, and you know Boyer, he's from Emporia.
He's been here.
Yeah, Boyer's been here.
He's a Kansas boy.
Yep. He's a big time dirt guy, and he said it. He's like, you know what? If we don't keep supporting our grassroots racing and our local racetracks, racing will die. And we have to make sure that our local racetracks are being supported. And I know I watch a lot of streams around the area of a lot of racetracks, and Cole's a huge NASCAR guy too, and he is like he's a super fan when it comes to NASCAR, the pavement stuff, and we're going out of Kansas in a couple weeks. I'm really looking forward to that. But you guys are really doing a good job of making sure that you're supporting your local racetracks, because that's kind of the backbone of the big, the big Cup Series and the Xfinity Series and the ARCA Series and all those series. So
yeah, we're trying our best. We always say that grassroots is the foundation of NASCAR. Everything starts here. Yep. So we're trying to give back to those communities and get more people involved in it, because you're right. If we don't have people that are racing at a local level and moving up, then there is no racing.
That's right.
I've finally got an opportunity to go this year to the seminars and down to Daytona and Speed Week, and
I was jealous because I couldn't get off work.
It was I missed. It's been 25 years. Yeah, but it's been 25 years, I think, or 30.
I'm 27. I still haven't been down there.
But that was the first thing I noticed when we went into the rooms. Number one, it's cool to be up there under the grandstands and those awesome facilities, and hearing the cars practice while we're having meetings. But that's what I felt right away, is they were really heartfelt about helping local tracks. Flow Racing, signed on. You guys have signed on with Flow. I talked to them a little bit, and that's where we have to make the next commitment here, because I know what I understood was pretty much Flow's able to help the tracks that already have their system set up. Mm-hmm. We haven't got to that point yet, but that's going to be
and those are the bigger tracks.
Yeah, that's my
like Stafford
in the off season.
Berlin.
Well, Stafford isn't a NASCAR track, but yes.
Oh, sorry, or like Berlin and places
Berlin
like that.
And Bowman Gray and all them.
Yep.
Established.
So that's my pet project is to get that set up. I mean, our local TV station has come and done a few races with us, but they're not set up for pay-per-view. So obviously you have to do that to not hurt yourself or help yourself. So he subscribes to about everything there is, so you can watch racing every night.
Flow has a lot of stuff on there. So
and that's, okay, I'll say it. I'm an old guy. I still have Dish. I still have I'm not a streamer, but this generation, that's all you guys do.
It is.
Like Dish or cable, wait to stream. Yeah, that's the way it is. So we have to get to that too here locally. That's the way it is. So to do streaming. So and that's the thing I'm going to hopefully kick off with Flow, or maybe talk to Kevin or you or anybody to help me get some support on figuring out which way we got to get that set up and how to, the pay-per-view system, or how we got to get to that point to do that. So that's going to be my project for the off season, because we have to get to that route. So because when we have a specials, another thing we mentioned earlier about losing tracks. We lost one this year. Huge one in I-80 Speedway, of course. So, and Joe Koziski and the Koziski family, Joe said it best. It's like when you lose a track, it hurts all of us. It really does, And they were a sister track to us, and Joe is a great supporter of us, and he has this series and helps us out. We have 3, but that's the thing, it's to do that stuff. You need those streaming channels to do that too, and that's just what people are used to doing now. So I'll be talking to you hopefully later about that. That's something I'm going to be doing in the off season, and I want to get pointed to the right direction to get some help in that nature.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know you guys have the resources to help with that stuff too.
We do. We have a lot of dedicated individuals who know way more than I do about all this kind of stuff. But it's very nice to have people who have that kind of modern technology and moving in that direction, they have the same passion that we all share for grassroots racing, and so they're really trying their best to kind of modernize grassroots to where everybody has access to it,
Right.
And that it's not just you have to go to the track to go see it.
Yep.
So.
You know, and the other thing, I'm going to start beating the NASCAR banner here because, and you can help me with this, but, you know, the other thing is with, well, why don't you do this series? Why don't you do this sanction or this? And it's like, my thing is, well, what will they do for us as a business side of it? You know, we've pushed this and talked about this. We put it on our web, and so many drivers don't realize that what NASCAR does for you. And number one is the point fund.
Yes.
I mean, it's the $15,500 point fund. I mean, that's huge. That's for the top 5. We do top 10 stuff too, but people don't realize that, and most sanctions don't really have hardly anything like that. That's number one. You know, you talk about the insurance, the support, the programs you offer. Like you did the kids program, we did that last week. You know, you sent the kids pack with the crayons, all those activities. We're still going to get our cards, our
okay, those are coming.
Yeah, and you guys put that in the letter, and that's our new thing, and that'll be a surprise thing we'll do. And we do a thing when school starts about a month in. We have another local group. We go to the elementary schools and have some drivers come with their cards, and we'll do some. Hopefully, we'll have the cards by the end. Like playing cards is what they are. So, yeah, I know, but that's something that you guys are working on. But you offer that. We have the Speedy Bear program. We just got those this week too, and our local hospital. You know, we're a small town, but we have a hospital, which is so nice to be able to do that, and they really, really appreciate and use those to great causes. So that's another program that's very, very awesome to deal with. Like I tell them too, it's like, you know, we can get you different things to get into different tracks and stuff like that. NASCAR tracks. It's like you offered our seminars to go to Daytona, and I keep telling our board, it's like somebody's got to go every year. We used to do that. COVID hit, kind of screwed some things up, obviously, for everybody, but that's another thing that. The seminars are so awesome, and how you guys treat everybody down there, that was so much fun. It really was.
We try our best when you guys come down.
So it was a lot of fun, and it was beautiful weather because I came back to snow.
Yeah, that's true. You know, when you're coming back to Iowa in February, everywhere's beautiful.
I looked out the plane when it's white again. Like I miss Florida already.
Florida, it's all sunny. And we're sitting on the beach.
Yeah, it was 80 like every day. I'm like, oh, this is awful.
It's like that every day in the winter.
But because it's funny because I've been twice. The first time I went, I got down there and it was great weather and it started raining, so it rained out the Clash and it rained out everything, and then the news comes on, oh, it's going to get down to 40 degrees, bring your pets in. I'm like, 40 degrees? I'm like, what are you talking about? Come up here where it's below zero.
Bring your pets in.
Did you know, though, that iguanas fall out of trees in Florida when it gets too cold?
No, I did not.
It's a thing. I guess the iguanas freeze and they fall out.
We don't have iguanas up here.
Yeah, the iguanas and the gators, we don't have too much of up here.
We don't really have them up in Daytona, but I heard South Florida.
That's funny.
You got to watch out for falling iguanas.
Well, heck, Daytona Beach, that's one of the spots for that show we watch on Reels.
I watch Live PD.
Live PD.
It is. They have Volusia County and Daytona Beach Police.
Because I
bunch of hardcores down there.
When I went down there, I talked to a couple of the Volusia County guys. It's cool seeing you guys on TV because that's one of my favorite shows. So
my parents are obsessed with it. They live up in Seattle, and so they're always watching. They're like, "We're gonna see you one of these days on there." I was like, "I hope to God you don't."
You need to go out and just fly around sometimes.
I'm sure there's some interesting people down there where you're from.
Oh, there's a lot. It's funny though. I'll be watching Live PD and I'm like, wait, I know exactly where that is.
Exactly,
like,
that's what I did. That's what I did. I said, oh, that's that Walmart I was at real quick. We had to go. I said, I know right where that place is at. I said, that was neat about that.
I was there.
Yeah, it is. So
it's fun. It's especially fun when they show it like right outside my apartment. And I'm like, oh, what's up?
So we've chatted all this time. I never really asked you any personal questions. Is like, how long have you been with NASCAR now?
So I actually just passed my 2-year mark about 2 months ago.
Because I think last year you had just almost started not too long when you came in.
Just passed my year mark.
Yeah,
when
I knew it was
first came.
You hadn't been here very long, and and we've had so many people come through up here, and it's always been a great time. Kevin's
been here a lot.
Kevin's from, is it Minnesota or Wisconsin? I always forget that. Yeah, so it's like, so we talk about that, And Kevin is such a great guy to, no matter what his role is, I can always text him. You know, I mean, he doesn't mind, and I really appreciate that. So that's always a good thing. So all of you guys are so supportive. The girls in the office, I call it. You know, I know since our new scores have started, I don't get involved anymore. I let them handle it because I didn't want to have to be a go-between, and we've all been struggling through this new system, of course. So.
Oh, we all have, yeah.
You know, but it really is a good thing. I think it's streamlined and made things paperless, you know, a lot less, you know, so that's the thing. So
they're trying. We're trying to get everything handled this year, and next year we're hoping there's going to be
bugs worked out,
no issues.
Yeah.
So
one thing that I will say is when I think of NASCAR, I think of NASCAR tracks and in general. You know, I'll say it. We're an IMCA country. You know that. I mean, we are in the middle of the IMCA mecca of dirt track racing. And if we were worried about getting put on an island this year, worried about, you know, what our car count was going to be like, if we were going to lose cars, if we were going to gain cars. We have not lost any of our local supporters. Every single local guy down here that's been down here for years and years and years, they will tell you the same exact thing because they know what NASCAR's done for this racetrack. They know what you guys continue to do for this racetrack. And the problem is there's not enough drivers that know that is the problem. You have so many of these drivers that race at Boone Weekly, that race at Harlan, and they're all IMCA guys, and they don't have a flipping clue what NASCAR does on a local level to support their racetracks. They don't know. One thing that stands out to me so much is every single NASCAR track you go to, like we were out 5 or 6 years ago. We were out in Colorado.
Yeah,
and
out to Erie.
Yeah, and the facility, NASCAR tracks, the facilities are so much better. It's because there's a backbone there. You go to an IMCA track, and I walk up the steps, and I'm worried about my foot falling through the bleachers because the facilities just aren't there because
that has to do with money locally, though, too.
Well, I understand that,
but great about supporting with signage and stuff.
Yes,
like that.
There's just not as much support there, and that's what so many people don't realize is we get in the ear all the time. Well, you should do this. You should switch to this. You should switch to this. I'm like, there is. Why fix something that ain't broke?
But I mean, some said, well, I don't care about the point championship or how much the points, how much the point fund money. I'm like, well, I'll take it away from them and see what they think.
Exactly.
You know? So it's like, but we also have a regional point fund we go for also.
And we have a state champion.
No, not anymore. It's regional. And
it is regional now. Okay.
And then you have the national point. But if you look, our champion locally earns more than other sanctions have for their national champion, and that's the thing. And I'm just beating the bush here, but anyway, that's the thing about it. And the other thing that we're very thankful for is the Advance My Track Challenge, because we've gotten into it twice now. It's where we've been able to earn money. It's an awesome thing, and we couldn't beat the French this year, so
they were a force to be reckoned with.
They were incredible.
We like racing.
I thought it was what was the guy's name? Gerard. Wasn't it in Talladega Nights?
Jean Girard.
Jean Girard.
I'm like, oh, we got beat by Jean Girard.
You know what though?
Or Ricky Bobby.
They look like a great facility, and man, they get support up there. You can see that for sure.
Well,
so
when I race and I do a lot of dirt stuff, there is a lot of French people that I race, and they'll be talking on the headset, and I can't understand a word they're saying. They're talking in French. It's crazy. The fan base they have up there.
I know, and you'd
it's
never
huge
expect
in Quebec.
it, like the French Canadians.
It was just
it's
like
huge.
That was a monster we went up against. I'm like, we're
just like Alaska Fair. Alaska's the same way. I mean, what else is there to do in Alaska besides go race snowmobile? But their racetrack is crazy too.
The backdrop up there, it looks so horrible. Look at this corn, and you got to look at those beautiful
glaciers. And
that is such a beautiful.
Have you been up there?
No, so we have a fight every year of who gets to go to Alaska.
Really? Because that looks so beautiful up there. Oh my word.
First year, I think Brett went, and then my second year, Kevin went. So I was like, well,
imagine that.
Statistically
next year,
thinking, like, I should be going this year.
That'd be a really cool trip.
So I think that's a drag strip and a.
It is, yeah.
And I saw the pictures. I'm like, gosh.
Have you been to Quebec?
No. So actually, Brett and Kevin, my two bosses, they were supposed to go Thursday. Who was it? Granby.
Yeah.
Granby was supposed to have their little AMTC winter night thing. So you guys get the last lap because it actually rained out. So.
Oh, shoot. So,
so they rescheduled it, but I'm not going to Quebec, and honestly, I don't know if I want to deal with the French Canadians up there.
Well, you'd walk around. There's a huge language barrier up there, but I think a lot of them speak English, though.
A lot of them speak English, but a lot of them don't want to speak
right.
English.
It's a very prideful thing up there. I know it is. Yeah, so.
No, they're good people, though. I love the track owner and the promoters at Granby and RPM. It's the same people. They're always very, very lovely to deal with. So
the other thing I'll ask you right now, not on the spot, but I know COVID did a lot of stuff to us, especially banquet wise, and I think the goal is to get kind of back to what the Ward Banquet was like before. Isn't that still the goal, to try to do that better?
Still the goal.
I know we got to go last year, and some of our guys that had been before were like, "Oh, this is disappointing," But I said, but at least they did something to get us going again.
Better than nothing.
And they promised us to get back to being able to do something. So, and I hope that is, because that's a big thing we can push to our drivers. It's like, hey, you'd be amazed at how, when you go to the Awards Banquet, how they can win.
It was in Indianapolis, wasn't it, last year?
Yeah, it was
RPM, wasn't it?
PRI.
Excuse me, PRI.
The Saturday right after PRI. So we kind of doubled up, which was a great thing for some of our drivers because they had never gotten to go to PRI, and so they were like, that was really cool. Like, I want to go again next year, and it kind of introduces them to that aspect of this industry. But it was just things didn't work out the way we wanted them to, and we have a lot of different plans for this year. So it's not going to be in Indianapolis. It's going to be in a different place at a different time. So
and that's good if that's the thing I hope we get back to, being able to do a little bit better on that, and that's not putting you on the spot, but it's just nice to
I don't know how much I can reveal
no,
yet.
No, I'm not.
I'm trying to not avoid the question, but avoid the question.
Speaking of the NASCAR national stuff, we had a couple drivers last year. I know one guy that really embraced it was Austin Paul. He was our national guy last year. I'm looking at some of his pictures right now. His Facebook profile picture is actually him at the awards banquet with all this stuff. And he brought his B-Mod last week and put it out front here and showed all his plaques and stuff. And he's just one of those drivers that he's from over by Newton area. He came over here a couple years ago, and he's just another example of a guy that didn't realize that all the stuff that NASCAR does for the drivers. And he was a prime example of a guy that's like, wow, it was amazing because he won a national championship and all the recognition that he got. And you don't really get that from other sanctioning bodies, that in that depth and things like that. So it was really cool that he got to do that. And Luke Ramsey was the same way. He's been there a time or two, and he knows how it is. He's been to Charlotte as well, back when the banquet was originally in Charlotte, and we've got multiple guys down here that have been to Charlotte, and every one of them will say the same thing. It's an incredible experience just to go, and you guys really do a good job of treating your drivers like royalty. You guys treat them very well. So.
We try. I always say sometimes when I'm in my drivers' meetings and I, just say a couple words to the drivers, I'm always like, man, without you guys, I wouldn't have a paycheck. So thank you. Yep. So, no, we try to do our best to honor them, and we realize that this sport is based on them. Yep. So
where are you off to next? Are you done for the year, or do you have some more tracks to go to?
I'm not done for the year. So NASCAR National Series is in Daytona next week, so I'll be staying there for that race. Then my dad has never been to Darlington, so
okay.
My mom and my dad are flying out to Darlington, so I'm going to go
That's
meet
one
them
place
there.
I've always wanted to go.
Yeah, my dad's like super excited about it. So I was like, you just get a plane ticket down there. I'll handle everything else.
Great.
So he's super excited about that. And then I'm going back to the short track side. And I'm going to Jennerstown up in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
And then at the end of the month, next month, we have the really big late model race at Martinsville.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's the Valley Star Credit Union 300. Yep. Mouthful. But yeah, I'm going to that, which is
nice
super exciting.
Nice half-mile track like us.
Yes.
The old paperclip.
Yeah.
It is asphalt, though. It's paved.
But
that should be really fun. We're expecting a very large car count for that.
Good.
So
of the tracks that you've been to, how many have you been that are dirt?
Oh, how many have I been? So I think we have 10 tracks that are dirt. And I would say that I've been to a solid 6 or 7. If I had to just throw a number out.
Sure. Gotcha.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm guessing this is probably the biggest dirt track. I'm guessing that you've been to. I would assume so.
There's not many of us half-mile tracks left. So.
One of them, yeah. I was just at Lakeview Motor Speedway down in South Carolina. They're a new track this year. I don't know right off the top of my head how big they are, but
yeah, put you on the spot on that either. So.
Yeah,
so.
Sorry, I don't remember every single track length
Yep.
of my 53 tracks. But,
right.
But yeah, I think this is one of the biggest, and I was super excited. I was gonna come earlier in the year, and then Kevin took the trip from me, and I was really upset. I was like, dang, I really wanted to go to Adams again. And then he ended up not coming.
Yeah, because when I talked earlier in the year, he said he would probably be coming this year. So
yeah, he was going to do the I came up with the Hawkeye Downs Adams County, and then he was like, I'm going to take it from you. And then he ended up not going. So
we love to see Kevin. I haven't seen Kevin in years, so
no, that's good. So
not that I don't love to see you, but you guys should both come.
Everybody loves Kevin.
I'm always glad that somebody can come. That's the
exactly.
Thing. That's
we try. We
that's
try
the
to
main
get
thing.
Someone out to every track.
Yep. So
and we did a really good job this year, despite we had I think. So we had 48 tracks last year, and we had 53 this year, and we still, I think there's only a handful, maybe less than 5 that we haven't been to
Hawkeye
this year.
Down was a surprise because that wasn't announced at the seminars either. That wasn't on the list. That was a late one because Kevin he kind of texted me, "Hey, I got a surprise for you," and I said, "Oh, really?" And then I'm like, "Wow, that is surprise. That shocked the heck out of me."
But they're so excited down there about being NASCAR. So
it's a great deal. So
we love to welcome them in.
Well, Billy just messaged me. We're up to 37 semis right now.
Good.
So we might have
a lot of horns.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot.
So I'm still expecting 50, folks. I still am.
Going to be a lot of diesel out there being burned.
50,
so
I tell you what, Emma, very much thankful for you coming.
Thanks for having me.
Have the room of the place. Make sure if you get stuff, tell them it's on me. So don't do that. So I think you're probably going to go to the driver's meeting.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll get you plenty of time for that. So anything else you want to add? Didn't put you on the spot too much.
I guess Rock Chalk Jayhawk. I went to Kansas, so I feel like I have to.
Well, for all the Iowa State fans around this area, they wouldn't like that. But I'm a Hawkeye fan, so I really don't care. So, but hey, your football team's getting better. So.
That $6 million renovation looks good too.
I'll tell you what, being a Kansas football fan, it's got to be just like, oh my God.
It's brutal out here, but you know what? Basketball makes up for it.
That's
we
right.
won the 22 championship.
That's right. So. One of my roommates in college, I went down college in Missouri, and one of my roommates is a huge Kansas fan because he's from Kansas City, Kansas. So, we're gonna be down in Kansas Speedway here in a couple weeks, and I'm really looking forward to that. I love going down there. I've been down there so many times, and we get the hot passes through NASCAR and do all that stuff. So, it's a super fun time, and I'm just looking forward to it. And like I said, I hope that we can continue to do this, and you can continue to be our sanctioning body for years to come. And again, we don't need to be fixing something that ain't broke. That's all I'm saying. So
he's saying don't go IMCA.
No.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm going to be in touch with you, whoever, to get some ideas on this streaming, so we'll get that set up. So. That's it's not the future; it's now. I mean, it's already past us. So we got to get on.
Yeah, we're one of the only racetracks I think in this area that doesn't do a consistent streaming platform. I mean, all of your IMCA tracks have their streaming stuff, and we've got to get on that.
Yeah, but if you're gonna do it, you got to do it right.
Right. I get so many messages from people that ask me, "Are you streaming tonight? Are you streaming tonight?" I'm like, "No, we're not." So we've had people watch us here on YouTube from Utah and places like that.
It was Idaho last week.
Yeah, family members of family members of family members, and it's just those are the types of people that you want to reach out to. Yeah. So, but yeah.
Oh, we get a huge following on this show.
12 people.
Who wants to look at me? No, it's spanned.
This is the smallest populated county in the state of Iowa too.
Unfortunately, we are, but no, it's a cool deal to have this now too. We can't thank our radio station enough to have this luxury of having a radio show and now the podcast. And it's because this is what it is, to reach out to the people and get people involved and come to our track and be interested in racing. So
that's right.
Emma House with NASCAR up here from Daytona, heading out right early in the morning to go back to that lovely, horrible
disgusting
Florida weather.
Yeah.
So. I'm leaving it with y'all.
So. She's going to go watch her iguanas fall out of the trees.
No, I'm not going down to South Florida for that.
Like, what the?
That's only when
alligators
it gets cold.
and the boa constrictors down there.
Have Have you petted a gator before? Like, have you touched one, an alligator?
No, but I have golfed with them before.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're all over golf courses
That's
down
fun.
there.
I don't know why they love golf courses so much.
Yeah.
Because the water's all maintained and there's fish in there. And
I guess.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's very fun when you see a little gator chilling next to your ball. And
there
you're
you
like,
go.
Okay, sir.
Around here, it's turtles that we see. We don't see any gators.
Turtles
so
and snakes. Geese. We have a lot of geese.
Cole likes to hit it in the water, so
I think I'm more afraid of geese than gators. So.
Oh God. There's so many snow geese around here.
A lot of geese. So well, Canadians too. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna take our next commercial break. I'm not sure.
I think Luke's back there.
Hey, we have a guest here. So all right. So we'll be right back with you. I'm gonna switch off with Cole because I got to go park some more semis. So we'll be right back to you with Pitside Live. Hey, it did work.
Furniture, appliances, mattress sets, lift chairs, bedding, recliners, and more. S&S Appliance, your hometown furniture store in Clarinda, just received a large shipment of appliances. They have a huge selection of stoves, refrigerators, chest freezers, and microwaves. And if you need a mattress set, they have them. Plus bamboo sheet sets. They offer full service from start to finish with competitive price guarantee. S&S Appliance also offers delivery and installation. Stop by S&S Appliance on the square in downtown Clarinda.
This is Josh with Shore Motor Company in Clarinda. We want to be your GM dealer. We have highly qualified and trained technicians ready to work on your vehicle. Anything from recalls to warranty work and beyond, we are your GM dealer. Our service department is open 6 days a week for all your service needs. We even have an express lane for those no appointment quick oil changes. Visit our website at shoremotor.com to request an appointment or give Mike or Amanda a call at 712-542-6581. We are your GM dealer. Shore Motor Company, just south of the square in beautiful Clarinda.
Just as your local State Farm agent teams combine good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. This is your local State Farm agent, Dave Carball, and we promise to deliver the service you deserve at the price you want. My State Farm team will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call us today at 712.
See, we put that car together for him.
Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside Live here at Adams County Speedway here in Corning, Iowa on KCSI 95.3 and also on the YouTube channel. We just got done talking to our NASCAR rep. Great to have her here. Second time she's ever been here, and she's going to get I think she's going to get a little dirt in her hair tonight. So I know she's used to a lot of pavement tracks, but it's dirty around here. So speaking of dirty, he's got the dirty Carhartt on, and he looks like he just got off work. It's 17 car, you know this, guys. Luke Ramsey, picking up first win in a while, according to his specifications, huh?
Yeah, it was. It has been a little dry spell there, but we got her dialed in, I think.
So we've been talking. I've been talking to some people. I've been talking to Buddy too, and new car this year, and it's just been kind of just finding what works, right? Just kind of tweaking and tweaking and tweaking.
There's stuff to do, every week. I mean, like there was stuff we started chopping today, so it kind of got a little crazy. We, been busy trying to get
really cold out today, wasn't it?
Yeah, trying to get the equipment all ready all week. There were some couple other things that I wanted to do to my car, and I left it in the shop there until today, and I didn't get a chance to do it. It was just some cosmetic stuff to clean it up and get it ready for, later season specials. So,
yeah, and it's for people that don't know, Buddy's in your old car, and that car is pretty dialed. I mean, you can really tell that it's really helped Buddy this year. He's not out of the points championship either. I mean, he's probably my most improved driver this year. It's just incredible to see how well he's done, and I feel like that's probably made you feel good too, because it's just like he's right there with me now, man.
Well, it's made me a better driver. Trying to get some of these other guys up front. It's actually made me work a little harder on my program, and what Buddy's driving now. There's a lot of people that just steer away from what they're doing, and I kind of made Buddy learn how to drive that, and then we got him into what he is now, and then he took off and run with it, and I don't think you can get him to go back now. So,
And so how's the chassis business going? LS Chassis, obviously. You and I think you still work with Scott Davis, right, and all those guys. And how's that been going?
Yeah, it's working good. So far, so good. I think we're on chassis number 11 so far. So I think he's got 4 or 5 more orders to go, and then then we'll probably be switching over to the 24 model, and we'll continue to grow, hopefully. So
that's right. And with new chassis, you know how it is. I mean, you got to develop a name for yourself, and then you got to prove it on the racetrack as well. And you prove it down here each and every Saturday night. But again, Buddy's racing the same thing. I know when Scott came down here for Tradition, he always runs good too, and things like that. So, but you talked about specials and all that kind of stuff. Tradition's coming up. It's obviously not on the weekend that we really wanted it to be on, but it has to be due to scheduling conflicts. The people that don't know, I was going to mention that here in a little bit. We were trying to move it, but again, there was just no weekend that worked for us. We had a wedding one weekend. There was another weekend where Roger Sorensen's got a big auction down here for his Purple Wave auction. Got like a collector car auction. Couldn't do it on that weekend. We're obviously not going to race against Harlan. It's just the schedule conflicts. And we know our local guys will be here to support us. We know you guys will be here and things like that. But I'm hoping you guys can also help us too. Hopefully try to pull some guys down here. So
well, and I mean, I might step on some toes by saying this, but I really don't care. But no matter which way you guys went, there was going to be positives and negatives in both direction. I mean, it's one of them things that it also doesn't look good to our sponsors, that help out with the track when they're looking forward and they're telling everybody all year long that we're having the Tradition on this weekend, and now we moved it. And
that's right.
Maybe there's going to be some of them sponsored people that's going to have some people here at it, and they couldn't make it at the end. I mean, there's a lot of scenarios
that's people don't think about, right?
It's not even race car related,
right? People don't think about that stuff.
So I think, right, wrong, or indifferent, I just think sticking to the original plan was the way to go. And I mean, I was probably the most bummed out that it wasn't a 2-day show. I mean,
right.
But I also understand the financial side of it too, and understand that it has to work on that side as well.
Right. We talked to Scuba on that too, because Scuba's a big time sponsor for Tradition, and we got, we talked to a lot of drivers, and there are a lot of drivers like that 2-day stuff, but we just came down to the point where it was just too much of a risk. We don't want to, pull drivers away for 2 nights when we know that big race is going up there in Boone and things like that. So, but again, we're going to do the best that we can, and I know our local drivers like Luke and all these guys will do the best they can of pulling some strings and trying to get some guys down here. It's going to be really hard to get those guys away from Boone because they always have plans and things like that, and we understand that. But it's going to be great for our local guys. It's big money for you guys. So,
well, I mean, that sometimes there is people out there that just come race for big money. So, I mean, hopefully we have a few of those who come down and say, I'm not going to, I'm going to go down and race for some big money, but that is an advantage of the 1-day show. It's just the atmosphere is a little different around a 2-day show.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of
it's more of an event.
More of a subtle racing, right. Kind of a racing weekend. But like I said, financials is what's got to matter at the end of the day. I mean, you guys have to make money, and you got to be able to, stay open. So
that's right. And Luke saying it best. I'm glad you mentioned that, Luke, that sponsorships and things like that. There's so much behind the scenes that all these keyboard warriors on Facebook do not understand. That's the thing that I think drives me nuts the most, is people that get on Facebook and make all these negative comments and things like that. Those are the people that really don't understand what goes on behind the scenes. And there's so many different hoops you have to jump through to pull a show off like this.
For sure.
I mean, nobody really realizes how many people that are involved in all the sponsorships, and Cole's just starting to learn about all that now being in this game, and there's a lot that goes on, isn't it?
Yeah, all the I know there's a few comments about people saying we're just trying to cater to our locals, and I'm like, trust me, we would love to have, T-Dub or like, McBurney come down here. I want them down here because I want you guys to prove you have the speed to run with them. I mean, you don't have really much to prove. I mean, you've showed that you can run with those guys. But, like, a lot of people don't realize the speed we have at this track.
In the hobby stocks, it'd be like Eric Stanton, guys like that,
For sure. So I'd love to see you go toe-to-toe with them. And obviously we do at these big specials throughout the year. So, and that's one thing. I love seeing you go and doing those and kind of show up for our track and show what we have here. So.
And I think with a little bit of future planning, if we could, kind of get a little further ahead of the game and try to beat some of those, nothing against the other tracks around, but kind of have our own little special, get it rolling, and with this with this tradition deal, if we can get that set up to where every track around knows that Adams County is racing on this weekend, and they're going to have a lot of money, and it's it's their special.
Right. They don't want to race against us. And
yes.
That's kind of the goal. We had a meeting, last week after the races. It took forever because we were, contemplating this and this and this and this. Because we're trying to make the best decision we can for our drivers and for our fans and for the business side of it too. And just like Luke said, we want to develop a weekend. We need to develop a weekend where it is our weekend at the end of the year, because the tradition is in this area. It's one of the longest running specials in this area. This year is the 25th running of it. And for people that don't know, it was originally made for stock cars. It was stock cars and modifieds, and then it was hobby stocks came in, and it's mainly for your fender cars. And people ask me, why are you paying so much for a class where you only get like 10 cars? It's like, it's a stock car show. Hobby stocks and stock cars are going to be the two top paying. That is what it's intended for, and that's what it'll always be.
And I think you'll see non-weekly drivers come. I mean, you're gonna have non-weekly drivers here. It's just there's some of them that may say, well, I want to party in Boone that weekend, so I'm going to stay up in Boone. The ones that want to race are going to come race. The ones that want to party are going to go stay up and party. The rest of them are going to come race. You're going to see some stock cars come to here that are not here weekly for sure.
I mean, thanks to all our sponsors, I'll mention them really quick. Jeremy Houck's one of the biggest ones. I mean, the Flyers right here. I mean, it's $2,500 to win for stock cars. It's $225 to start, $1,500 to win for hobby stocks. That's one of the highest paying hobby stock races around. There's not a lot of hobby stock races that pay that much, and you probably know that too. $125 just to start the feature, and like I said, it's the Ross Griffith Memorial this year, and it's also the Jeremy Ribby Memorial. And there's also a huge number of people that are donating to that kind of stuff. And I know when we put a name on the race, that's when it means a little bit more too.
Yep.
So, but again, Luke, it's getting down to it. We'll switch gears here. You're only 2 points behind, and I know that's in the back of your mind, but I know you're just going to race like you normally do, and you and Adam are going to put on a really good show, and it's going to come right down to it. And you've been here a time or two where it's just, you're just racing, right?
I'm just racing. I've been on the outside looking in and the inside looking out, so I've been on both sides of it. But, points racing, I mean, I'm glad that we've had a consistent car count, because I've also been – in points championships like at I-80 when they just started them hobbies back up, that there was the first year where there was only like 7 or 8 of us, and it slowly built up, and I think over the years it would have kept going. It was sad to see that track close, because that was, that was another favorite. But points racing, when you're doing it with 20 or 30 people, is crazy. I mean,
it's hard.
Stewart Speedway right now, there's only, for the last 4 weeks, it could only come down to 3 or 4 of us. Mm-hmm. It was just inevitable that those were the 4 people you was racing against all year long. Even though there was other good car counts, it was just you didn't have the single people that week in and week out showed up. So there is a little bit of a, something to hang on the mantle at the end of that, because you got to be dedicated. I mean, it's time away from family. It's Saturday night, you're at the racetrack if they're racing. You're looking on Facebook to see if it's going to rain out, so you know whether you can even take your wife out for supper. I mean, that's the tough side of points, I mean, any other time, if you're not racing from points, it's 115 outside today. I think I'm going to take Sam.
It's an obligation. It is, and for a driver's side, it's the same way as for us too. I mean, from the business side of it, we are obligated to be down here every Saturday night, and when you win a points championship, it's got to make you feel good, because you get something for all that hard work. And it really shows, I put the time in, and I deserve this. So,
and there's a lot of people down here that deserve a championship just, for just being here every week,
Right.
I mean, and there's a lot of luck that comes into, I don't care what anybody says, luck's half your battle. I mean, the year I lost to Tom by 1 point, I had a 68-point lead with 3 nights to go, and had a flat tire one night and got taken out 2 nights, the last 2 nights, and I lost it by 1 point.
And like you said, there's so many drivers that'll say the same thing, and Cole will say this too. Points racing is stressful.
Yes.
It makes racing a lot more stressful than it needs to be. Some guys handle it way better than others, especially like you or like Jesse Dennis who have won so many. You probably handle it a lot better than others. But for a guy like Sean Kralik who's going for his first, Adam's going for his first, guys like that, I know, like Sean Kralik, for example, he was in Tijuana, Mexico this morning. He's taking a helicopter to get here just to race tonight. He was at a wedding, and he's supposed to be here right at 7 o'clock because he knows that he's there because he lost it by that much last year. It's stressful.
And he was down there watching the weather. You know he was like,
oh yeah, oh yeah, down there in Tijuana, and I'm like, is he racing tonight? I'm like, there's no way he's going to give this up, and he's not. He's going to be here, and he's going to be late to the party. But like I said, it takes a lot just to be here for every single night, and that's why you don't see as many guys race for points anymore. Times have changed, racing has changed so much, and I feel like that's one thing that we have down here in Corning is we have a good group of guys that are here every single week.
Yes, we do.
I mean, you go to Stewart and you go to other racetracks like that, and the car counts are like this. Ours is like this because we have a strong local support, and that's one thing. We're kind of on an island here. A lot of racetracks don't have that weekly point stuff anymore like we do.
When you get down to like Bedford and Clarinda and areas like that, this is you got to drive 2-3 hours to go to another racetrack,
right? Especially if you want to race, IMCA rules and things like that.
Yes.
I mean, you go to Winston, but it's USRA. You go down south to Lakeside, that's also USRA. And it's just like you said, it's geographical.
Yep.
It is so geographical, and everybody's always like, well, why do we not get more cars here? Why do we not get stock cars? Go look at a map, bud. You tell me who's going to come down here from, who wants to drive 3 hours, right?
That's right.
I mean, you were driving there for a while. I know you were like the parts trailer at Marshalltown there for a while. That's hard for you to get up there.
It was, and that was, it wasn't much. I didn't make it, really, so to speak, any money, but it helped cover my fuel expense getting there and back, and that was huge for me.
Right, and it's just hard because it's just you have a business and you're super busy, and it's really hard to get out and branch out. So anytime that we get new drivers here, we always try to embrace them because it's like we really appreciate those guys that come down here. So, but I know you got some sponsors. Thank Cole. You want to add anything else before we get him out of here? So
I think you said everything to pretty much what I was thinking.
Got to win on a talk.
I guess one thing I could ask, is with this points racing, do you race any differently? Because I know a lot of guys talk about, early in the year when you're not worried about points, you'll kind of shoot a gap that you're not sure it'll work out. Does that ever kind of, when you have a gap closing up and you think you can make it, do you kind of run it through your head before, or do you just kind of forget about it and race how you want?
Honestly, I used to. I think, the last couple, I think I just, I just go out there and try to race, and that's what we go with. So
try to take care of your stuff the best you can and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go out there and purposely, go 4 wide and five laps in a row.
The fans love it, but
sometimes you have to.
Yeah, that's right.
So my wife, she's put up with all this, especially with Buddy and I and the kids, and they're a handful for her, and she takes good care of those and makes sure that they're where they're supposed to be, and we can do what we need to do, and all my kids and Buddy and everybody that helps on the car, Dalton's down there, Tommy and Hunter and Jeremy, and everybody that's standing down there, Andrew, Tim, Lewis, I'm sure I'm going to forget somebody, but if you're standing down there at my trailer and you help out, none of this is possible without any of those people, especially on days like today when it's 100, and it's going to take all of us to, to just do that little bit extra and help each other out the whole night. All my sponsors, I've got a huge list of them, and you got some other guests here, but I talk about them a lot, and I try to give them a shout out. And anybody that's helped Buddy and I as far as a sponsor, we appreciate the sponsors that help the track to make this place go around every week. We couldn't do it without them either. The fans, like I said, I always go back to the COVID year, and it was
really
the
weird.
Scariest win I ever had was parked in Victory Lane, and you look up in the grandstands, and there ain't a single person in it, and you're talking on a microphone. It wasn't a good feeling.
It's like eerie. And the cars were like echoing. It was so weird.
Bringing the people back out here was huge. I mean, you know, you don't have to be a fan of mine or anybody else. I mean, just coming out here and being a spectator is huge to every one of us. All the safety and fire crew, you guys, you know, everybody that's in here and takes the butt tunes this time of year, from all the mad drivers and, you know, the extra work that goes on. Billy, you know, for doing what he does. And there's just a lot of people that make this place go around, and every one of them has to hold that puzzle piece somehow.
That's right, and it's stressful from both sides. It's nothing like, it's the same thing in like high school basketball, things like that, when you got parents in the stands that are yelling. Then you get on the referee side of it, like, man, this is it. It's a whole different, you know, vibe.
There's always two ways to look at things.
Exactly. So, but well, Luke, we appreciate you supporting us all year long, and we wish you luck. And it's going to be fun to watch you and Adam go out of here, and maybe Buddy will sneak in there at the end. Like you said, you were up like 60-something the other couple years ago.
I might rub on him a little harder if he
like, you never know. So it's going to be a good battle between the 17 and the 7H here for sure, and the fans will be watching, and we wish you luck, and thanks for coming up here and talking to us.
Sounds good, guys.
All right, that was the driver of the 17 car to Bedford, Iowa, Luke Ramsey. We're going to take another quick break and come right back with you here on Pitside Live.
Too busy at work to wait in a long line at Subway? Order online at order.subway.com. Simply register with your email and password and order away. You can also download the Subway app on your smartphone. Order up to 6 subs, salads, or pizza. Ready in 15 minutes once order is submitted. Also add chips, cookies, and drinks easily. And Subway's back to normal hours, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Order online at Subway in Red Oak, Clarinda, Shenandoah. Best Finish Auto Sales and Service is proud of the quality used vehicles they sell and their dedication to serve the needs of their customers. Whether it's your first purchase or one of many that you've had, you can count on their dedicated sales staff to make the best buying experience possible. They also offer financing on your vehicle purchase. Best Finish can also take care of your service needs, from oil change, brakes, alignment, air conditioning, to any body shop and repair needs. Stop by Best Finish Auto Sales and Service at 209 Sharp Street in Glenwood for all of your vehicle needs. Feeders Grain and Farm Supply in Corning, representing the most recognized and trusted brands in the industry, as well as locally sourced products. Stop by and see a full lineup of Purina products to handle all of your livestock needs. And if you need Sioux Steel Gates, they've got you covered. Browse the store and they're confident you'll find what you're looking for, or they'll order it in for you. Feeders Grain and Farm Supply in Corning, supporting all of...
Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside live here at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa, and on KCSI 95.3. I forgot at the top of the hour, station identification. Big thanks to KCSI 95.3, Jerry's family, Aaron and Melanie and all those guys there. They're awesome people, and we really thank and appreciate you for letting us do this. If you're watching on YouTube, we thank and appreciate you for doing that as well. If you are listening and you want to go back and see Mr. Jason Rowland's beautiful face or whatever and watch him talk over and over, you can do that. You can go watch it over and over and over again on YouTube. So, but we do have another guest here. It's the driver of the 96 car. He got stolen from a win 2 weeks ago, stole one last week, and hey, just the cards fell in their favor, didn't it?
Yeah, they sure did. And I figure, I guess sometimes it works against you and sometimes it works for you. And last week we kind of got lucky there. So.
And Luke Ramsey said it really well. You got to get lucky sometimes.
That's right. The week before was super close, and mistake on my side. Would have been nice to see where that ended up had I read the rules a little closer as far as transponder location, which is,
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I was like, man, and then Brad was like, well, that makes me feel a little bit worse, but from the eyeball test, it looked like he had you just by that much. But again, with transponder, I think if it would have went to a photo finish like back in Greg Hampel's day over there, I feel like it would have went to Brad. But
yeah, and as far as that goes with me, I no skin off my back. It is what it is. It's not a big deal, and I should have looked at that closer as far as the location, right? So at the end of the day, it's my own fault.
Yep. But now you know, right? Now you know.
Now I know. Now it's where it needs to be, and that'll be irrelevant moving forward. So,
Well, the stock cars have been the last couple of weeks. They've been pretty fun to watch. Cole and I have been calling it, and Cole even said, we don't get a lot of them, but you guys have really ramped it up. I feel like ever since you've been down here in the last half of the season, it's really the competition has really started to ramp up. So,
yeah, I mean, it's a good group of drivers that we have. There was 13 last week, 12 or 13.
12 or 13.
Yeah, I mean, and that's about all most tracks around here get anymore. I think we had one more than Harlan had last week. So take that, for what it's worth. But it's nice to see. The competition here is really good. Like you guys said, I kind of got lucky there, and Scuba had a little issue in 1 and 2. Otherwise, I think he was gone. And without that caution, there's no way I would have caught him.
Did you go thank Dominic Sexton for bringing out the yellow? Or?
No. It definitely worked in my favor last week, but Scuba was fast, and it's going to be tough to beat him tonight. As well as Brad, and we got Tony Harsty back in the car, and
Brock's getting really good too.
Brock's been good all year. Caden told me that. Josh Most is in his backup car, I think is what he said. And
we called that earlier.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, you're going to have a lot of good drivers here tonight. It should be a great race. Again, we've been side by side the last few weeks.
Well, I think Josh Most, I think he's running because I think he's playing on our own tradition. So
okay, that makes sense. Yeah, which is another car, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, why not? I mean, got the flyer right here, race fan. I mean, it's $2,500 to win.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good money. And we're contributing to my uncle too, Ross Griffith, longtime ambassador of the sport here. He was the owner of Joe Zadina's car.
Yep.
Lance Swartz is gonna have his. He's bringing the car out of the weeds because that was Ross's car.
Yep.
Lance is gonna race next week just to get the car tuned up, and he's gonna get out of turn 4 and get in the car and race next week. And he's racing Tradition. So I'm like, are you sure about this? But because Lance has been working at turn 4 with us all year long, I just bought his house, and he moved here, and the car's back at his parents', and he's like, you know what? Let's put some grease in the old valves and everything like that, and let's get her going. So
that's great news, and there's a few other cars that I know will be here, a few that I'm pretty sure will be here, one of which you guys will definitely recognize, and everybody here will probably recognize. A lot of stock car wins under his belt. I'd say at this point, hopefully we've got at least 75% plus chance of getting him down here. So hopefully that's the case. And there's a few others. I know you were talking with Luke, and there's a conflict there with Boone and IMCA on that night. But at the same time, no other IMCA track races on that night.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of us old guys at this point.
You're not that old
don't go
yet.
to Boone.
Right.
And I've done that. I've been there, 10 times in a modified and a stock car over the years and had a lot of fun doing it. But there comes a point where, risk versus reward. And it's nice to have another place to race on that Saturday night, too. So I wouldn't be shocked if there's a lot of cars that come here. If you look at the numbers of who in Southwest Iowa goes to Boone and who doesn't, there's a lot more that don't than do. So hopefully if some of those guys see the flyer, see the advertising out on Facebook and on the internet, and give us a try down here. It's a great track. It's been a great track since I've been coming down here. I was tied up at the beginning of the year with the kids and sports and stuff, but the last 4 or 5 weeks that we've been coming down, it's been 2-3 lanes of racing, and
very consistent. And Logan does a really good job. So
yeah, it's been outstanding. We were side by side last week throughout most of that race. So I think it'll be a good show, and I think you'll have a lot of cars that maybe you weren't expecting that might show up. So
I really hope you're right, Jason. And it was a really stressful decision for us, and we don't like racing at other racetracks because we know how hard it is to pull cars and things like that. And we were looking at dates, and just like I said, we have a wedding on one night. On the original night, it was supposed to be on It's one of our guys' brothers down here. Everybody that works here is going to be at the wedding, so it's like we can't race that night. And the other night, Roger Sorensen has a big auction down here. He's one of our good sponsors, and he's doing a big Purple Wave auction down here that whole weekend. And obviously, we're not going to race against Harlan because they're one of the local tracks, and that's not good for either of us.
Right.
But this is just the only time we can do it. But you heard it here first, race fans. Jason Rold's saying it. I mean, we got to do what we got to do, and hopefully we're going to be surprised with what we have. So
yeah, I really think so. I've talked to a few stock car guys today actually that are both pretty excited about it and have another place to race. And there'll be some big name stock car guys here too. I know there will. So they get a lot of cars at Boone, but there's a lot more cars that don't go to Boone than there are that do go to Boone, especially in the state of Iowa and the Midwest here. So,
and people that aren't understanding too about what is this race at Boone that weekend, because it's not Super Nationals, it's the Prelude, and they never used to do that. And it's just kind of a way for people to get practice, I guess. And they don't really race for no money though. It's just you're racing. I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
No, I just think. My opinion is I'm hopeful that we'll get more cars by having it this weekend than maybe we would have had it another weekend, because there's a lot of different conflicts with other tracks. And
it was originally going to be the 16th is what it was supposed to be, and that's that wedding weekend. So.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other shows that weekend too. So really, you've got Boone and you've got us here with the tradition. So hopefully, people give the track here a chance, and we get some new faces in that don't normally come down here and may not have come to the tradition in the past because of, their home track specials or things like that. So I know I'm going to publicize it out on Facebook. You guys keep doing the same thing on the internet and wherever we need to go.
Just old computer. So.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we shut it down.
No, you're good. We're good. We're live. So,
but as long as we get the word out and people see it, I think it'll be a good show. So
and that's one thing I'll say really quick, Cole, and then you can say what you need to say. Is Jason Rold's another prime example, race fans, of we have a strong support class down here. We have a lot of drivers down here that care about this place, and they will do whatever they can to get other drivers down here. And that's why our car count is not like this every week. It is just like consistent, because we have guys down here that support us on a week in, week out basis because they care about this place. They don't want it to die, and you're just another example of that. And you have other options. You live closer to another racetrack, but you choose to come down here, and we appreciate that. So
yeah, I mean it's a big family here. It really is, and it's always been that way, even since I was a little kid coming down here to watch in the stands.
Back in the Hampel days, right?
Yeah, back in the Hampel days for sure. But I've been coming here a long time, and we've raced at a lot of different tracks over the years, and the camaraderie and the friendships that we built here, and the way people just help each other out in the pits. That's why we keep coming back. We enjoy it. It's an hour away, not super far, but far enough to where we make a conscious choice to come here every week. And it's great to see the fans in the stands. Even the specials, there's tons. There's hardly any open seats.
You get the late model guys here. It's like, good Lord.
Oh, yeah. And then even on the weekly shows, these stands hold a lot of people.
Yep.
And to look up here, especially, last week I looked up here, it wasn't a huge crowd, but there were a lot of people here. You look at the amount of the capacity of the grandstands, and you put that in perspective, and then you see the fans, and
that's right.
And you can hear them. So it's great to have that, and it's great to have this gem here in Southwest Iowa as far as the facilities and the way the races are run. It's really good. So
yeah.
And it's a half-mile racetrack. There ain't nothing like it anymore. So nobody wants to go fast anymore, I guess. Everybody just wants to turn in circles.
Well, historically, it's been a lot more follow the leader type of racing on the bigger tracks, and it hasn't been that way here this year. So we just need to get some more racers here and keep the fans coming and watching and sharing the news and talking about the 2 and 3 wide racing. And we've had it in the stock cars, and I tell you what, those hobby stocks, I know you guys talked about it last week, but they were 3 and 4 wide last week too.
They are wild.
So yeah, it's just a lot of fun to watch, and it's a lot of fun to race. Talking to Tony and a few others in the pits last week, we're racing side by side. I don't think we ever touched, and it's nice to be able to come down here and do that. And last week we were on the lucky end of that stick. Hopefully we're there tonight, but if we're not, I hope it's a good race. I hope it's 2 and 3 wide, and a lot of competitive racing out there. So just need to keep people coming.
That's right.
So.
No, for sure.
Well, you had something to say earlier.
Oh, yeah, I
train
forgot what it was. I don't know. All I can say, though, is I'm looking forward to these next couple of weeks. I mean, you mentioned it with the racing. I mean, the way that the stock cars and hobby stocks have been going, I agree. I think we'll have a good turnout for the hobby stocks and stock cars, and just looking forward to it. I think I just want something to show. There's a lot of people from up in northern Iowa that have probably people just tell them that it's single file here. But this year,
it's been outstanding.
At least in my memory, I think this is the best year of racing we've had for a long time.
Logan, I will tell you, I've been helping Logan a lot with track prep this year. It's been me, Logan, and Lance doing a lot of the work, and Logan's been doing a really good job of researching and trying to figure out what some things help with the track and what doesn't, and he shaved some stuff off the top, and some drivers didn't like that, but I don't know if you've noticed, but ever since we've done that, it's been incredible. So
yeah, I mean, the bottom groove is there, and you guys know that. A few weeks ago, I went to the top because I thought that's where I needed to be, and then I got passed on the bottom, and it's like, man, you can run anywhere you want to, and it's really nice to see that. It's been, the track's always been good, but that bottom groove is back in. And it hasn't been there like this for a couple years, and it's nice to have that back. So
that's one thing that Logan's been focusing on is I know a lot of people get tired of people winning on the top all the time. It's just one ring around the top, and he's trying his best to make 2 lanes of racing at least because a guy that's a catfisher at heart that likes to run the bottom needs to have a chance as well, because some people just don't run the top as good, and you got guys like Jess Dennis who run the top better than anybody. Yeah. And when it's on the top, it's almost impossible to beat guys like that.
Well, I was on the bottom last week, as you guys saw. I went up there and tried to run the top where Scuba was at.
Yep.
I couldn't make it work very well, but he was going to win that race from the top.
Yes, he was. So there was 2 lanes.
There was 2 lanes, and the top, I think, probably would have won. Without that caution, the top for sure was going to win last week. And like you said, we just kind of got lucky, and chips that fell in our favor. But there were 2 grooves, and it was really good racing throughout. So,
Cole says it all the time too. Cole's been down here a long time too, and we're not just saying this because you've been announcing, but the racing this year, just for some reason, it's been different. Like it's just been, it's more of a pack.
Yeah,
and it's more of it races more of like a Stewart or someplace like that, because usually in the past it's the bigger tracks, it's fanned out,
Yeah.
But this year you guys have been a lot more in a pack.
Yeah,
so.
It's been real good. So
and it makes it fun to watch too, because when you have multiple lines, you guys really get to search around the track. You'll see a guy run the bottom, then he'll go to the top the next lap, then he'll go to the top and run a diamond line, and I think it's just awesome to see that. A few years back, everybody would just go straight to the bottom or straight to the top, and I think it's awesome. So
it's nice to be able to move around a little bit and try to find a fast groove, knowing that both of them work too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we're getting down here to the checkered flag. We've got 3 minutes left, Jason. It's really, really, really good to have you on again. We really appreciate you coming up here and talking and giving your insight on tradition, things like that. Race fans, this is another stock car driver, and it just goes to show that there's quite a few people out there that care enough about this place, and they're not going to go up north, and they're going to stay down here with us and support us. So who do you want to thank really quick before we get you out of here? So.
Yeah, we'll go real fast, but obviously my wife, Jessica, my 2 boys, Caden and Kevin, were both here last week. Mom and Dad, Larry and Sandy Peterson also help out a lot, and we had Crohn's with us last week. Adam and Parker were here, so it's nice to have them, on board helping with Crone Farms, but then also in the pits. It's tough to get this done without them. So big shout out to Cody and Cole Winther over at Southwest Iowa Outfitters and Preferred Properties of Iowa with Cole
Hopefully
Winther.
He's doing well with his health. So.
Yeah, I mean, still sending prayers to Cody. Getting better, but definitely still sending prayers his way. So Ag Business Crop Insurance in Atlantic with Brock Partlow. Dwayne Pelzer was texting me after last week, so he also helps out. We need to get him back behind the wheel.
Former racer,
Yeah. And then Jim Wyman called me today. So JD Wyman Motorsports built my motors for many years. So up in Griswold and then Performance Bodies. So
he was one of the guys I think was talking to my dad the other day during the late model race, and he was like, I'll tell you what, all these people that think they should shorten this racetrack, I ought to punch them square in the
teeth. He's definitely a proponent of racetrack. So. And then I got to say thanks to you guys. Thanks for putting the show on, keeping the track going. Jerry and the team over at KCSI, you know, not a lot of tracks have this.
No.
And it's nice to be able to promote the sport. And
not live like this. They
No,
don't.
not at all. And our sponsors who help, and the track sponsors, and you know, Billy for promoting it, and everybody that does a good job with that. So really greatly appreciate that. And the fans, obviously, number one. And that's a big part of why we come down here and drive that extra 45 minutes
Butts in
every
the
Saturday.
seats, man. That's what keeps us alive. So, make sure you get some pictures tonight. It's going to be a pretty cool intermission tonight.
Yeah, it is.
So, well, we're getting down here to the checkered flag. Cole, you got anything to say before we get off of here?
Nothing much. I just appreciate all the kind words, and just saying back to you. I mean, I've helped John Kinzer race for a few years there, and so I know
That's his roommate, by the way.
Yeah, I know
another good stock car driver.
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah,
He's getting better.
Yeah, he
so,
is.
I mean, I've seen firsthand what it takes to do this, and it's not easy. So we just appreciate you being down here. So.
Yep, and thanks to all the truckers who brought their rigs out tonight. That's going to be real cool at intermission.
I don't know where we're at, but half hour ago we were at 37.
That's pretty awesome.
So we might be close to 50.
I hope so. That'll
it's going to be
neat.
really cool. But race
Yep.
fans, you've been listening to KCSI 95.3 along with the YouTube channel. I think it's 4 for off. So, but we're at the checkered flag here, race fans. We thank and appreciate you for joining us. And if you aren't here already, you got to get down here. Huge thanks to Keen Thummel Trucking, HFC Trucking, for doing all they do for their sponsorship tonight for Salute to Trucking Night, race fans. And it is going to be one whale of a show during intermission. And make sure you get your phones out, take all the pictures you can. And we appreciate you, and we'll see you back here next week on Pitside Live.